And learn another song or two. So, someone was asking me about my grandfather and if I had anything to tell you that you might not know. What I can tell you, if you know about Harry Bridges, is that he was a great intellectual. He never went to college, but he loved history and he loved literature. And when I was 10 years old, 12 years old in high school, he taught me about de Tocqueville and Machiavelli and Andre Gide and Malraux and Linus Pauling and Tilly Olson. And he loved to talk about those things, about culture and history, much more than he liked to talk about work or labor or politics. And I'm very grateful to him for teaching me about those things and broadening my horizons and making me feel more like an intellectual. Your introduction?
What I told you earlier? Sure. Here's the truth. This is the truth. And this is coming from a guy from the Harry Bridges Union. If Harry Bridges was a teacher, then the teachers would be running the schools and the problem with education would not exist. If Harry Bridges was a nurse, then the nurses would be running the hospitals and the problem with medical in this country would be gone. Thank God for me and for Desert and for my wife that Harry Bridges was a longshoreman and I get medical all my life. I am a womb to tumor and I love this fine woman's grandfather. So that's the absolute truth. Too bad there was only one of them.
And I loved him too. He was a very sweet granddad. And he died when I was about 30. So I got all the benefits of him as a grandfather, coming to my school plays and all that kind of stuff that his own kids didn't always get because he was so busy with union business. So,
Sorry.
The Ballad of Harry Bridges.
Round two.
You got started.
Let me tell you of a sailor, Harry Bridges is his name. An honest union leader who the bosses tried to frame. He left home in Australia to sail the seas around. He sailed across the ocean to land in Frisco town. There was only a company union, the bosses had their way. A worker had to stand in line for a lousy $1 a day. When up spoke Harry Bridges, us workers gotta get wise. Our wives and kids will starve to death if we don't get organized. Everybody! The bosses, they are scared. We can't afford 6 million and they know. And we're not gonna let them send Harry o'er the sea. We'll fight for Harry Bridges and build a CIO. They built a big bonfire around the mats and lines that night. They threw their think books in it and they said, we're gonna fight. We've got to get a living wage or we're gonna take a walk. They told it to the bosses, but the bosses wouldn't talk. They said there's only one thing left to get that contract signed. So all around the waterfront they threw a picket line. They called it Bloody Thursday, the 5th day of July. 400 men were wounded and 2 were left to die. Oh, the FBI is worried, the bosses, they are scared. They can't afford 6 million and they know. And we're not gonna let them send Harry o'er the sea. They'll fight for Harry Bridges and build a CIO. Now that was 7 years ago, and in the time since then, Harry's organized thousands more and made them Union men. We must try to bribe him, the shipping bosses said. And if he won't accept a bribe, we'll say that he's a red. So the bosses brought a trial to deport him o'er the sea. But the judge said he's an honest man, I've got to set him free. Then they brought another trial to frame him if they can. But right by Harry Bridges stands every working man. Oh, the FBI is worried, the bosses they are scared. They can't afford 6 million men, they know.